Yep, it's on.
Yep. Okay.
On in New York.
Perfect. Awesome. So let me just first start with a little bit of context about who we are. I know that some in the audience today may not be too familiar, and I think this helps tell a good story, or the DAA's Ad Choices program helps tell a really important story kind of in our company history and kind of our evolution. So as an organization, we've actually been around for over 20 years. That first started really more with a focus on professional services. And by that, I mean, we've been helping companies conduct gap analysis of their privacy programs, doing assessments of their data protection practices. And primarily that started with reviews against, let's say, their collection and usage of children's information, because here in the US, we have the COPPA regulation and how a child's information is collected and used. Also did a lot of work in helping companies to prepare for their filing of application to be parts of the what was then the EU Safe Harbor program. 10 years ago, that changed, and we built our first piece of privacy technology, which just so happened to be the Ad Choices icon. So for 10 years now, we've been operating at scale. I'll go into a little bit more details at the end about how we do that and how we've been doing that for a long time. But again, our partnership and our involvement with the DAA is a very key kind of component to where we started. Privacy continued, as we saw it, to be evolving, as it continues to be even to this day, continues to get more and more complex. And so where this has taken our organization is from a small snippet of JavaScript to help support the Ad Choices program to what you see on the right, which is a full stack data privacy management platform. I won't go into all the details of this, but the idea here is really to help organizations to operationalize, automate, apply intelligence layers to the practices that they are that they have, all in the focus of helping them maintain and grow and ultimately mature their data privacy program. And so what we see from sort of an external influencer perspective, kind of two factors externally. One is from a regulatory standpoint, but also from, again, externally, kind of a consumer-based standpoint. And so from a regulatory standpoint, as I'm sure we all know, privacy is not going away. It's not getting easier. It's becoming more and more complex, and it's being more and more adopted globally. So just in 2020, there were 25 new data protection regulations that went into effect. And now already in 2021, just a little over a month in, there's already 6 new regulations that have become effective. By 2022, we expect that 50% of the world's population's personal data will be protected by some form of a regulation if it's not already. Moving into what we see as kind of external influencers on why self-regulatory adoption is important. 81% of consumers will flat out refuse to do business with a brand that they don't trust. And I think that number echoed what Lou shared a moment ago. 35% of consumers have ranked trust in brand as one of the top 3 reasons of whether or not they're going to consider to buy from a company. That's pretty significant. By 2023, companies that build and maintain digital trust with their consumers will see a 30% increase in their commerce profits over their competitors. 48% of consumers say they are more favorable towards interest-based advertising when they're provided that clear notice and choice mechanism, such as through the Ad Choices program. So having a very clear understanding of what data is being collected, how it's being used, that gives them the confidence to interact and do business and maintain that kind of digital relationship. So to kind of summarize this, I would say that our clients really do see privacy and self-regulatory participation as truly a competitive advantage, not business inhibiting, but business enablement. And I think the reasons for that is they see that adoption of these programs or good privacy practices really helps them with regulatory interoperability. So if they're adhering to one set of standards for maybe one area or one market that they're currently doing business in, this helps them either have confidence in doing business in another jurisdiction or another region that they may already be in, or if they're growing and expanding, helping them have confidence in making that move and start making that transition into additional areas. Certainly, they feel that it helps them with their brand safety and risk mitigation. And even it could be as simple as just being able to check a box when looking to do business with other companies. We see, just from our own processes internally of conducting or being involved in RFPs, that 100% of those that we're responding to or involved with, there is some amount of questions or review related specifically to privacy, to data protection. So being able to confidently check that box, again, just helps in terms of in the process of conducting business. And then the last little bit, specifically in terms of how we help. So again, since we've been doing this for 10 plus years now, we've developed a really great turnkey solution. We try to make this process as seamless as possible. Typically, the process when it comes to interaction or engagements, and this is not just for ad choices, but something that we try to instill for any engagement that we're involved in. So basically 3 parts, starting with the kickoff, getting a firm understanding of the company's business model. Are they an agency? Are they a publisher, a brand? Are they an ad tech, SSP, DSP, ad network, what have you? Trying to get a firm understanding of what their goals, what their objectives are. We develop that implementation plan, get some of the additional details, like whether there's going to be some amount of integration, any back-end work, or as simple as any kind of customized UI or styling that may be required, so that we can help provide a interstitial that will resonate with their consumers or in the way that they want to kind of tell their message. And of course, identifying key milestones and goals, timelines associated to those steps, and then any ownership actions, who's responsible for which piece. So we have a very clear understanding after step 1 of kind of the path going forward. So step 2, typically a deployment and testing phase, taking the requirements that we gathered from step 1, putting those into action and starting to conduct those tests in production. If we identify any changes or any issues that need to be resolved before this does go live into step 3, that would be the point at which we make those updates. And then step 3 is really the go live and ongoing support phase. So with our engagements, each of our customers has a dedicated technical account manager. So they have a real person, a dedicated person that they can go to for any ongoing support, whether it's making, updating changes or new campaigns that are going to be run. And so new icons need to be created and used for flighting those icons. And we also get a lot of questions just in terms of what's happening with the industry, whether it's the behavioral advertising industry, there's new technical changes that are coming, or maybe a new regulatory enforcement that they saw in the news, or whether it's broader about privacy in general. That dedicated resource is there to help with all of those pieces. And so in practice, as I mentioned, we work with brands, we work with publishers, we work with agencies, we work with ad tech. And so whether that's in the form of a website preference management, like we see here in the screenshot at the top, or whether it's the in-ad notice and choice with the ad choices icon, we do operate against all formats, whether it's standard display, mobile web, mobile in-app video. We are supporting those icons in all those various formats, and doing over 15 billion icons, serving those per week. So that's a little bit about us, very quick, but I'll go ahead and stop there and just see if there's any questions or comments.